Now the modern technology which brings in precast, modular construction, 3D printing, a lot of new technologies have come up. So probably this session will have such kind of technologies being discussed in detail. Let me initiate this session by inviting the chairperson for this session, Mr. Pradeep Garg, Chief Engineer, Central Public Works Department. And the other panelists include Engineer Rajiv Kumarji, IBC and CE CPWD, Mr. Amit Barde, Head the Precast Initiative Larsen and Tubro, Mr. Arvind Kumar Vashne, Govind, Head Business Head Tivasta, Mr. Arun Kumar Patil, Superintending Engineer PWD Dharwad Circle, Mr. Manish Agrawal, Associate Principal Investment and Strategy, HDFC Capital, Mr. Sanjeev Bajpayee, Chief Engineer, Government of India. So we'll start up this session. I hope the other speakers will shortly join the session as well. Let me hand over the mic to Mr. Pradeep Garg to initiate the session by. So Pradeep Garg can start the session by making opening remarks.
Thank you, Kutti Saab. Pleasure being here. Though we have very less audience with us right now, but I think we can be heard across the hall. So the topic of today's discussion of this particular session is modernizing construction using speedy construction technologies. And I think this hall itself is a witness of this particular aspect of speedy construction using modern technology, which we can actually see around. So we have with us, though we have around 6 speakers listed, but right now we have 3 with us on the dais. I have Mr. Rajiv Kumar with me on my left side. Then we have Mr. Patil, Arun Kumar Patil, Superintending Engineer from PWD Dharwad. And we have young fellow Mr. Arvind from Tavasta, which is famous for his 3D printing. Am I correct? Right. Yeah. And then, sir, your good name, sir? Manish. And now we have Mr. Manish also with us from HDFC Capital. So since the topic is modernizing construction, so we'll go in that order. I will request Mr. Rajiv Kumar, my colleague from CPWD, to deliver his talk first and enlighten us. Rajiv ji. Our speakers will take maximum 12 to 15 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman, for giving me the opportunity to start this session. And very good morning to all the audience. My topic is management of EPC contracts. And EPC contract is one of the methodology or a contracting system which is used for speedy constructions. In my presentation, I'll put some light on the management of EPC contracts and positivities and negativities of EPC contract and what is expected from us, how to handle them. So, yeah. So we'll go by definition. What is EPC contract? EPC contract is basically engineering, procurement, construction, which represent a framework where the contractor delivers all the 3 words which are listed in EPC, that is engineering, procurement and construction. So all projects, all infrastructure projects, be it building, roads, they include these 3 words, engineering, procurement and construction. And I'll go into the little background when after independence the major construction started taking place and all the government departments started doing construction of infrastructure. This all EPC was part of government. We have not outsourced anything to the contractors. We were doing engineering on our own by engaging engineers. We were doing procurement. We were having stores. We were procuring steel, cement, materials, pipes, everything what is required in the construction till the last elements like paints and everything. And then construction was by engaging laborers, different kind of workers, skilled craftsmen, electricians, everything. We were engaging in different modes, in work charge staff or must roll or daily wages. And gradually out of these three EPC, we started outsourcing them. So first thing what we outsourced was the C, that is construction. We outsourced this C for different reasons, that we were not using those workforce continuously which was required to be used in one kind of project. So for the next project we need different kind of workforce. So we thought let this workforce be free. This should not be permanently engaged and this should be the part of outsourcing agency. So with the first stage we outsourced the construction part, and on the next stage when we thought now the contractors have been enough matured and they have developed their resources for contracting, we delegated the next responsibility to the contractors, that is procurement. So in procurement we started with the bulky materials initially. Key materials we kept with us where we thought they are part of structural work. So cement, steel, we of late we outsource quite late. Till last part of the P outsourcing, we were doing procuring cement and steel. So at the end we even outsourced the cement and steel, the major construction materials, and then we have totally outsourced the P and C. Now is the time which now we are outsourcing this engineering part, and that is why it is called a EPC contract, and this being the most sensitive component of our infrastructure because it includes design. If design is failed, then procurement and construction cannot control the failure of the designs. Whereas if the design is sound, there can be some mishap in the procurement and construction which can be handled. So this is a very, very serious matter whether we should outsource EPC or not. But why to outsource even the engineering part and make it a EPC contract? This is where we will just go through in the forthcoming slides. So scope of EPC contract is to undertake the full project survey to full design, complete design and engineering and procurement, construction, and we have now the mandate that projects above 50 crore or should be taken up in EPC mode as per the guidelines of Niti Aayog. And why Niti Aayog has decided so, maybe we'll explore this in the forthcoming slides. Primary reason was delay in the projects. Delivery is quite delayed for our projects. So we decided that this tool can speed up our construction, and up to the endpoint delivery, we should use this EPC contracting system. So in this type of contracting system, all the risks which are involved in construction, procurement and design, they are all given to the contractor who is the EPC agency, and full responsibility lies with the EPC agency for designing, construction, procurement, even to a great extent for few years, maybe for 3 years or 5 years, maintenance responsibility is also given to the contractor in EPC mode contracting system. So the various phases of this contracting system are phase 1, where we award the contract to the contractor. Phase 2 is engineering and design and local body approval. Phase 3 is procurement and construction, and phase 4 is testing, handing over, maintenance, and these phases. So practically we were doing the phase 2, that is engineering and designing, in-house in our department, and all the other departments also doing the same, and phase 3 was given to the contractors. And now the decision is that in EPC contract we should give even the phase 2 to the agency. So this phase 2, which was before phase 1 award of contractor, has come as phase 2 after the award of contractor. The contractor start designing, detailed designing, taking approval from local body, and it becomes a turnkey project for the contractor. So there are certain concerns: who should take up the design, how the design should be safe. So there has to be a team. There has to be a team of designers which are part of the main contractor. Then there has to be an independent designer which we call as a proof consultant, which should be checking all the designs, be it architectural design, electrical design, be it air conditioning, be it networking, be it any other feature which is part of the building. All the designs needs to be checked, and there is a safety consultant which takes care of the safety features, which is during the construction phase, and a proof consultant which is a overall checking all the designs done by the main contractor. So what are the primary advantage of the EPC contract? It has a single point accountability. So in major infrastructure projects where you need to have some 20-25 different works like civil, electrical, air conditioning, networking, and then lifts, then your escalators, then furniture. So all kind of designing is to be done by the main agency, and then it is to be proof checked by the single agency. So we award a contract in EPC mode to one single agency who will be doing the designing, appointing sub-consultants, or they are part of his own team, all the consultants, and after designing, the execution responsibility. And as a end user, we need a working functional facility at the end of the contract. So at the end of contract, when we need a working facility, we call it a turnkey project. That means we simply go and turn the key and the facility is in a working condition. So in all major complex projects worldwide, this mode of construction, this mode of contracting system is utilized, and this is very successful. However, when we started, we had several apprehensions which we will be dealing in forthcoming slides. So it gives single point responsibility of performance to one contractor. So because of any small agency or a small consultant, your project is not getting delayed, then all the risks are transferred to the contractor, though we have to pay the cost of those risk management, and then all decisions, all the parallel working is done by the contractor. So there is no time gap, there is no delay or time lag when sequence of activities are done in design, construction and procurement. So there is another advantage, that when the contract is awarded, EPC is mainly considered as a fixed contract, though there can be price variation contract also in EPC contracts, but mainly the EPC contract is drawn as a fixed rate contract. So the risk of failure or risk of cost escalation is with the contractor, though in the initial contract rates the contractor loads those escalations which are part of the time. So we have a fixed contract system, and then the clear scope of work is to be defined in this case. Then some cost for exigencies which are included, and transparent baseline pricing is required, defined escalation clauses if it requires, and all rights of the major items. Audit is required to be done, and then overall it is beneficial to the owner because it gives single point responsibility to the main contractor. Then primary advantage are time, efficiency and phase overlap. So why it is speed? It gives you speed in getting the facility, because when you award the contract, while planning, the contractor mobilizes its own resources for the construction phase and even for the procurement phase. So he starts procuring what he is designing. Parallelly, he is taking the approvals from the local bodies, and during these phase, the time is properly utilized. In the engineering phase, he prepares for construction. In the construction phase, he is taking up the procurement, and we can have check on these milestone points so that we can get it timely completed.
Rajiv, can you conclude fast?
Right. So then we have quality assurance mechanism also in EPC contract with performance guarantees. We have advantage of access to specialized expertise, which normally is not available with the government departments, so because they have not done those kind of projects earlier, and when you go in EPC, we get the agencies who have earlier experience of those kind of projects. So that knowledge transfer takes place in EPC contract. Limited owner's loss and control on EPC, this I have explained, and there is a change in overall outcome. Earlier we used to check what we have specified. Now we are not checking because this freedom has been given to the EPC contractor. So we have to check based on the performance criteria. So instead of specifications, now we will be judging the contractor's output based on performance criteria. Coming to the disadvantages, the whole responsibility of this work is transferred to one person. So if one person fails, there is a likelihood that the whole project gets derailed. There is cost involvement in all the activities. So this is heavy investment for the contractor. So EPC contractors normally face failure on account of finances, which has been seen in various case studies in EPC contract. Yeah, there is another disadvantage that in EPC contract you have to define what is your requirement. If you have not defined, then there are chances that EPC contractor can play on what you have defined and what is your output. So you have to have proper defining the scope of work, and you have to do some front end engineering design so that there is control on the EPC contractor. There has to be cross checks on the progress. There has to be milestones which decides on the kind of this thing. For that you have to prepare a complete DPR, which is having detailed defining of scope of work. It needs little robust planning at that stage before floating the tender, so that there is no ambiguity in the definition and the output parameters.
Rajiv, can you?
Yeah, just 1 minute. And there is important is selection of strategic vendor, because now we are giving the major responsibility of designing also to the contractor. So selection of vendor is very important in EPC contract, and there are failures because if the contractor is not adequately qualified or having experience in EPC, it will be difficult to get success in EPC. Then we should have transparency in communication and collaboration, clear commissioning and handover system. Then case studies, I'll take 3 case studies. One is IIT Indore. This project of 340 crore was given to one of the major agencies, which was not successful because they were bankrupt. Then second building is CHST building at Ghaziabad, which was a successful project, which was done in 2 years' time in a very successful mode. And third is the 500 bedded ESIC hospital, which was done at Indore. It was also successfully completed in EPC mode and it is operational. These last two examples are operational, and they were done in much lesser time compared to the conventional tendering system. So conclusion is, we should have a complete FEED, that is front end engineering design, before bidding. We should have assigned single point for governance. We should align technology and design standards, enforce proactive interface management, and invest in skilled manpower and training, and implementation of quality assurance in rigorous manner. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajiv ji, for nice presentation. We'll take up the question answer later. Now the next speaker, I'll invite Mr. Arvind from Tasva. Kindly.
Can you check? Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mentors, dignitaries on dais, off dais. Thanks for this opportunity to represent my company. My name is Aravinda. I am representing one of the IIT Madras incubated firm called Twasta. We are in the process of automating 3D printing in construction domain today. So I would like to play the video first. Gentlemen, can you give me the video first? For the interest of the forum, I would like to showcase a crisp, brief video how 3D printing technology works today. it's not appearing. Yeah. So we are actually in the process of additive manufacturing. This is how actually 3D printing works. We have two type of robots, that is robot on gantry and robot on printer on robotic arm. So layer by layer printing, that is the process of 3D printing technology today. We understand the importance of reducing labor intensive work, enabling architects and consultants to go beyond a rectilinear structure, that is curvilinear structure, and achieving required structure to be developed within the stipulated time period. These are the major challenges what our industry is facing today. So here we are bringing the solution. This is our gantry based printer. Each layer is comprising of 30 to 40 mm. We are using a patented design mix comprising of fine aggregates and a patented admixture. Of course, Recaron fiber is added to have the strength. Each shift takes roughly around 6 hours, and printing happens 3 to 4 MQ per hour. Printer is thoroughly connected with the batching unit and a pumping unit. We use Grasshopper and Rhino software in order to have our shop drawing in place. This is totally an automated technology where minimal labor strength is required in order to have the buildings executed. We do have our facilities located at Chennai, Mumbai, right now in Delhi also. Irrespective of our establishment, wherever the projects are needed, we have two type of workable mechanism, that is on-site printing and off-site printing as well. Of course, we do have our connections well established with the BMTC. We are the only company to have BMTC PAC certification along with LNT today possibly. Success story goes like this. This is one of the first 3D printed house which we have done for IIT Madras. Indian Air Force, we have developed this particular guest house. This is the bus shelter what we have printed and executed for Godrej. If you see the cross section, it is exactly G. Achieving any kind of curvilinear structure like this, it is very easy in our 3D printing method. Like I said, a patented design mix goes in printing. Gentlemen, could you give me the second video which I wanted to showcase? Yeah, there's one more video in the deck, if you can just play that. I want to showcase how in real time on-site 3D printing that works in the industry today. We have developed our first pilot project to Godrej Properties. They have given an opportunity to develop a 3D printed villa in Pune. So I would like to showcase you how it briefly works. This is our batching unit, pumping unit connected to the 3D printing. The hose what you are seeing on the screen is actually 30 to 40 mm hose where layer by layer printing happens. The cavity between the layers, this is predominantly used for placing cut bent reinforcement where we can have vertical members and distribution rods as well. All our service lines like such as MEP and conduiting can be concealed within the cavity, and later we can fill it with a dry mix or a wet mix depending upon structural consultants detailing. This is how exactly final product appears on ground. In order to achieve this curvilinear structure in conventional method using formwork, that becomes extremely challenging. Our technology doesn't need any kind of formwork at all. Quickly on a presentation round. I request you to open that PDF file. If you can just press Ctrl L. Yeah. So today we have three verticals, that is 3D printing sales and after sale services. Then we have a 3D printing project vertical, 3D printed products where we develop 3D printed modules and do sales of 3D printed products. This is our team. IIT Madras batchmates Mr. Aditya, our CEO, and Mr. Parivartan, our CEO. They have collectively incorporated this company. All other key experts have joined from the industry. From various other top-notch institutions. Today we are roughly around 80 plus in terms of number. These are the major two type of printers what we have. One is printer on gantry, other one is printer connected to robotic arm. This is our facility located at Chennai, Mumbai, Delhi and IIT Roorkee. Typically we can print in x-axis around 10 meters, y-axis around 12 meters, z-axis around 10 meters, that is up to G+2 scale. I would like to showcase our landmark notable projects. This is, like I said, IIT Madras first 3D printed house, a bus shelter which we have done for Godrej Properties. This is a cocoon structure which we have erected as a site office in Godrej. The entire structure is being erected within 40 hours duration. Of course, substructure is done using conventional method. This is a security cabin, totally 3D printed, and we have completed the erection within 30 hours. If you see the boundary wall in the downside of the page, it is roughly around 400-meter length down compound wall, which is erected next to Chepak Stadium in Chennai. Overall execution took only 2 months. Kesnik, we have done a pod house. Within 8 days, we have completed the entire structure. Just imagine achieving this curvilinear structure in conventional method. It is definitely a difficult challenge, but in 3D printing, it is just a cakewalk for us. This is one of the monument we have developed for India Cements in Chennai. The entire structure is totally 3D printed one and erected one. First villa, G+1 structure villa, which we have done for Godrej Properties. Achieving any kind of design, any kind of rectilinear structure becomes a very easy task in 3D printed aspect. This is a guest house being developed at IIT Madras. The design intent given was here without terminating any of the trees. The structure has to be built all around the trees. So we have achieved. We are in the process of completing the project today. This is roughly 5,000 square foot development. Right now, our technology is suitable for G+2 story structure. Our R&D is being taken place to take it to a high-rise structure as well. This is another interesting concept where we are working. These are the pod houses developed in Kashmir for Sonmarg area. RVNL, today apart from private clients, we are also having our engagements with public sector undertaking companies and governmental bodies as well. This is a villa being developed for RVNL at Nagpur. Today we are working with the TVS in developing their experience centers. In Delhi we are doing a school project for Conscient Infra Group. We have our long-term engagement with defense. We have developed a couple of bunkers wherein a Jawan can easily carry one panel which is weighing roughly around 45 to 50 kg, and it is rapid erecting structure. We are developing watchtowers at Jammu, India-Pakistan border area. We are also in the process of developing watchtowers for border safety operation and couple of airports in India. These are the pod structure, rather a cottage, cluster cottages, where hospitality industry is now having huge demand. Any kind of social infrastructure, furnitures, any kind of non-rectilinear structures, printing in 3D printing technology becomes a very key element. Any kind of pigmented concrete also can be achieved. We are also doing feature walls and facade elements, 3D printed jalis using our 3D printed technology. Yes guys, so that's the quick presentation. We are in the process of totally automating construction aspect in our labor intensive industry, wherever challenges are being faced. So it's totally a youngster operated company. We need all kind of mentoring and support from you people to take it to the next level. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Aravindji. Thank you for nice presentation. You are indeed an expert and pioneering people in 3D printing in India. Thank you for coming and giving this, sharing this knowledge with us. Now we have from L&T Mr. Amit Birde, the expert on precast construction, and we'll be delighted to hear him and his experiences. Amit ji, you have to take 12 minutes. Time is less, 12 minutes, you have 2 minutes.
So, good morning, everyone. I will just quickly, because the time is very short, the idea is to focus on mechanization and automation in construction, what we are looking at maybe next 5 years. Whatever L&T has been doing for last 5 years and next probably 10 years or so. The crux of our philosophy always has been mechanization and digitalization for last decade. And these have become buzzwords in the industry, and lot of people are gung-ho about it, lot of people are little skeptical about it also. But what we are looking at is, if you want to achieve that business excellence, this is why we are bringing that mechanization and digitalization in place. And if you are looking at that cycle, usually it is not just those two things, but what it's bringing is the mechanization is bringing your efficiency. That efficiency we are trying to monitor through digitalization, which was not available before, and that tells me what further innovation, what further mechanization I have to do, and that's how that cycle is completing. So we are not looking mechanization or this new technologies just for the sake of new technologies, but we are putting the data behind it, we are evaluating while we go, and we keep continuously improving those tweak by tweak. We don't do major changes. We bring in new technologies, we work at it 5-6 years, keep tweaking that to that perfection level. So with that background, whatever that we have been doing in mechanization, of course, I primarily look at precast. So precast has been one of the key things that we are developing for last 10 years. We started from the right side where we are doing buildings, but now we have come into hybrid where we can do facade. We are in the product sector. If I have to tell you quickly where the technology stands today, the pinnacle or the best performance of the technology, the building that you see on the right hand side is 12-story building. It's total precast building. It was constructed in 36 days. So 96 flats, 12-story, 64,000 square foot building completed in 96 days. So that's where that precast technology stands. If you see on the right hand side, it's a parking structure, about 350 car parks, about 1.5 lakh square foot built up area, and including the painting, that building was done in about 41 days. We called it Mission 45, but we finished 4 days before schedule. So this is where we stand in terms of technology. We are doing many buildings in the factory space also, where long buildings, modular buildings are done much, much faster. We are in that product sector where unique niche items, facade, whatever that is complicated, we don't force precast to be everywhere, but wherever that contractor, we are finally a contractor, not a precast manufacturer. So that's precast is one. Second, we are now looking at is this PPVC, which is prefabricated precast volumetric, both in steel and concrete, where everything is done off-site. So you don't, getting the work done at site is becoming increasingly challenging. So we did this one project in Ayodhya. This building, what you see, is now about handed over to the client. You see the right side units. This is the whole unit finished off-site, including even the painting inside, wiring, fans. Only it was connected to the building, and the entire building is built ground plus 3-story configuration. Same way, we are into this IHMTC, what we call is integrated hybrid modular. So it's like a combination of different systems. If you see this DRDO building we did in Bangalore, what you see in the picture was just done in 45 days, except the superstructure, of course, but including the furnishing. It had steel structure, it has precast slabs, it had volumetric construction, where we take advantage of multiple technologies and kind of put them together based on their advantages, whatever experience and understanding we have. Switching to large buildings, again we are looking at now composite, where we do a conventional cast in place core and then surround it using precast or steel. So these systems are also getting very popular. Doing the core, we can use the climbing formwork, which runs very fast. If I have to do a conventional building of cycle 10 to 12 days, the climbing core can go 5 days. And then you build around it using hybrid, where steel or precast, so that your building can be finished faster. Now we come to the automation and digital, right? How we that? These are the technologies broad we are using multiple. These are the key ones that we'll be using. So how that automation is helping? So if you look at precast, the first factory we built 10 years ago was 5 lakh square foot of built up area. The factory that I have built 6 months ago is 30 lakh square foot built up area. So we have come multifold. This is the actual picture of the factory, which is built right next to the project. And full automation, right? It says battery molds. This is India's first fully hydraulic automatic battery mold, where we are casting walls vertical. Advantage, the concrete is coming through the shuttle from the batching plant to wall, it goes under 6 minutes. Usually your TMC has issues where half an hour it takes, we don't know the concrete quality. Here it is going directly to the vertical walls. It has inbuilt vibrators, it has inbuilt steam curing system. You get both side finished walls. Traditional precast which is done horizontal, one face is finished manual. But here you will get both side finished where internal also you can do putty and paint, and that is working well. In automation, 3D concrete, of course, Twasta spoke, so, but we have been also dabbling with that for last 5-6 years, and we have done full-scale villas also now. What you see in the middle of the picture is 8 villas were done fully in 3D concrete printing and handed over to client. Right side top picture is a BRO Chandigarh building, which is G+3 buildings, about 50 lakh square foot built up area is handed over to client. What else in automation is usually the block work. So block work we have now robotics systems. Painting we have brought some robots also now from outside where it's an AI infused system. We have painting robots which will do the wall, but these robots now you put it in the center of the room, they will scan the entire room, decide what to paint, where to paint, and then start working. It is much faster than conventional ones. Same with robotic fabrication. So a lot of fabrication, everything automated, where we used to need 60-70 people in the shop. We are running the same shops using 5-6 people. That same was extended to cage making for precast. So because it's a factory system, steel tying was taking a lot more time compared to even precast casting. So we started developing, and these robots are in development now, where entire cage for our codal requirements, welded wire meshes are there, but they don't work with our requirements and the bent steel and all. So these robots will build whatever the entire mesh, including the projecting bar, U bars together without any people. So a lot of productivity improvement. Same thing with BIM. We are now tracking all our buildings real time. Earlier it used to be 2-3 days lag. Somebody will scan, somebody will update the Excel spreadsheet. Now we have systems where you can just scan with the mobile saying this panel is installed, and the entire team real time is getting that inputs where the building starts, what the progress monitoring is. Same way we have form track app for conventional formwork. When the concrete is ready, all those indications we are monitoring with sensors, and that is improving the efficiency. What we used to take 7 days, 8 days wait by standard, we are now going with the strength generated and strength development, so that whatever, even if we save a day or half, that helps each floor. This is Statue of Unity, again very unique thing, where each panel, there were thousands of panels, so each panel had RFID tag. So even today that RFID tag, we are able to pinpoint which panel is doing, if there is anything movement or it needs maintenance, everything being tracked remotely. You don't even have to go near the part to scan it. It is a radio frequency one. And lastly, all the logistics, construction, planning, now we are using these advanced tools where what used to take months to develop real-time scenarios, models, it can be done in 1 or 2 days, where real-time videos and actual. We don't have to go to site visit anymore. Usually the thought process used to be, once you start the project, first thing you do is site visit. Now even before tender, we are building the real-time site level models so that the project managers can get all the information input. So that's all I have. Of course, I'm here. It's a very quick and wrap up because we are running out of time, but I'll be glad to interact on any of these systems. Thank you.
Thank you, Amit. It's always a pleasure to hear your talks, and today also. Thank you for covering all the aspects of construction, different aspects of construction, and the modernization which you are working on. Next, we'll invite Mr. Patil, Arun Kumar Patil sir from Karnataka. He's going to present a case study on the speedy construction of a Vijaypur airport which they have completed. Over to you, Arundi.
It is not connected. It is not opening. Good afternoon all. Good afternoon Chairman sir, all the delegates and all the speakers. I am Arun Kumar Patil, Superintendent Engineering Dharwad, PWD. I am from Karnataka. I am going to present you on Vijaypur Airport where many speedy construction methods have been used, and it is a very challenging for the PWD department because it is the first time from the PWD we are constructing the airport also, and it was the airport which was constructed for Vijaypur part. It was a very useful. That one part also I am going to briefly highlight. By doing this Vijaypur Greenfield Airport, we are connecting our northern part of Karnataka culture, history and legacies with development, sustainability and innovation also. And before briefing about the project, I will brief about Vijaypur, which is situated in northern part of Karnataka. As everybody knows, Gol Gumbaz, which is second largest dome in the world, is famous, and it is there in Vijaypur. And actually population of around 21.77 lakh is there, and the many Islamic monuments are there in Vijaypur, that Ibrahim Roza, Barakaman and many more are there, and many tourist places are nearby Vijaypur, like Almaty Dam, everybody knows, and even very famous garden is also built there, and even Kudal Sangama comes nearby Vijaypur. And with respect to economy, there are many 9 large scale and medium scale industries, and 10,424 small scale industries are there, and even there is a scope for textiles, solar energy, wineries also. And Vijaypur is famous for the horticulture products like grapes, pomegranate, lemon, and these are very quality products, and in a huge quantity these products are growing, and which can be exported to different parts of the world. So the necessary for the constructing of airport at Vijaypur, I am briefing about. It was given under Udan Regional Connectivity Scheme, and for this cargo facility also it was very important, and there was drastic reduction in time to travel Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi from Vijaypur. And currently there were more than 50 buses, trains, and with full capacity they are running. And even inland fisheries also we are going to get a scope for that. So about the project I am going to brief. It is a greenfield airport. For a day we have our operations it is presently, and it was funded by Karnataka state government by Infrastructure Development Ports and Inland Water Transport Department, and nodal agency is the Karnataka State Industrial Infrastructure Development Corporation. Executing agency was PWD, and IDEC is the PMC, and design consultant is the RITES. And it was done in 2 phases. The first package was around 255 crores, and the second package is about 206 crore. Totally it was 460.9 crore project it was done. And for doing runway, 95% the wind direction was seen, and in that direction the runway was designed. It was in west to east direction. So the runway was done in that direction. And this is the layout of the Vijaypur airport. The runway was around 3 kilometer. Actually, initially it was for ATR 72 only. It was around 2 kilometer, but later on it was increased up to 3 kilometers. And the component parts are, as you see, RESA at the end, and then aprons and taxiways are there. And in front of that, PTB building, passenger terminal building, air traffic control building, and all the component parts of airport have been done in this schematic pattern. This is the runway which is done in the first phase. Here, this project was given to SS Alur Construction Company, and here in this runway, overrun, taxiway, apron, GSE areas, isolation bays, and 4-lane approach roads, peripheral roads, and everything has been done under the project 1. And in the package 2, mainly building parts has come: passenger terminal building, air traffic control complex building, crash fire rescue buildings, electrical substation buildings, and canteen, wash towers, armory, dock canals. Everything has been done in package 2. And here actually many these architectural elevation you are seeing, it was done with all the Speedy construction way. Actually, it was original column was done with concrete only, with this one brick, and brick masonry only it was done, and with frameworks it was done in a very speedy manner. And for the structural design part, this far-field software has been used here, 3D finite element. Here the this one, the weight of the for this design is taken as 78.4 tons, and annual departures considered was 5,000, and design life of 20 years was considered, and subgrade of 12% has been taken. Based on this, we have got a design thickness of pavement as a bituminous concrete 45 mm, DBM 180 mm, and WMM 250 and 150 mm, 150 mm GSB. Here in BC, we have used PMB grade 40. Actually, grading 1 has been used for BC, and for in DBM, it is grading 2 PMB has been used. This polymer modified bitumen is used to have that strength required for the airport pavement. And this was done in 3 layers. DBM has been done in 3 layers with all sensor pavers, and it has been done in a very fast manner. Even though in 3 layers the levels has been taken by these sensors, and it was done in a very fast manner. And for the PQC concrete, as per the design, we got the thickness of PQC concrete as 375 and DLC 150 and GSB 225 mm. This is the runway actually done at Vijaypur Airport. All the dimensions have been shown here. And this is the passenger terminal building where this building has been shown. And here roofing, this roofing, what we have done, this part we have used this one king zip metal sheet proofing has been used, where rock wool panel also has been used in between. It doesn't allow the temperature to come to the inside of the PTB building, and this has helped in a very speedy construction purpose also. This one was used. And these are the internal roads which have been done in airports. And this is in package 2, where we have done air traffic control building, crash barrier rescue building also, and electrical substations, and all the other buildings. Here in ATC building, we have used even pre-engineering building also, where it has been done in a very fast manner for the fire rescue building, for the purpose of fire rescue. And the duration time, actually with revised time, it was when the work was started in March 22. It was completed in March 2024. Package 1, package 2, and package 1 was started in November 25 and it was completed March 24. And there are many quality control checks are required in airport, and this quality control checks also have been done in a very speedy manner. This is pavement classification number test has also been done by the machine, which I am going to show in a video, and friction test also has been done in a very speedy manner, and sand patch test also has been done, which is required to analyze the strength of airport. Here in passenger, in PCN test, it has been done by using heavyweight deflectometer, which I will show this using this machine. I will show you video also afterwards. And by measuring this depth, the strength of the pavement is measured. And the values has been arrived by taking from the machines only. And these values should be more than the 40. Even friction test also has been done. We should be within the range of 0.6 to 1. By using this vehicle moment, the friction has been measured. And these are measured at different chain edges, and the values are as values we have got within the range. And even sand patch test has been done to measure the texture depth of the pavement. And even the night landing facility is there for the future scope. Around 900 meter length is required, and this is there in future scope. This is used in for night landing. And the challenges what we faced actually there while constructing the airport, the site was very undulated, and it is around 722 acres, 727 acres we have done, and it was 90% of the strata was of rocky. So all that rock has been removed. Around 16 lakh cubic meter of rock was found, and it was used there only for the leveling and other purposes also. That rock has been used. And the project earlier was sanction was ATR 72 only, and later on it was increased for Airbus 320. That was also challenging for us, and even a local contractor has been used there, and it was done within a period of 2 years' time. So currently Vijaypur Airport is physically completed. After environment clearance, it will be ready for day operations for Airbus 320. And this Vijaypur Greenfield Airport stands as a testament to rigorous engineering and strategic planning. It will be helpful for global export gateway for agriculture products, tourism corridor for historical heritage. And I am going to show you videos of testing and airport video also in a very short period of time. This is how PCN testing has been done, and results were got immediately. And for a friction test, that just a vehicle movement is done. By this way, friction testing has been done. And no minor variation is allowed in the airport pavement structures. This is a completed airport at Vijaypur. Actually, this all surface was earlier it was with a rocky strata only.
वो तो सैंडस्टोन लग रहा है. Patel, I request you to complete it now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Patil sir, for excellent presentation. Indeed, to complete our airport project in 2 years is quite a challenging work to do. Now, I think we have 10 minutes more, sir. Kuti sir? 10 minutes more? Bansa, you like to make a presentation or will we start the discussion? No, they are saying that they will have an impromptu discussion. Okay, so now we... Right, sir. Okay. No, no, sir, I'm calling it. He said he wants to make an impromptu one. That's what I'm discussing. Okay. Okay, so
No, no, that's me.
that's
I have already done
he had already done the presentation. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, yeah, sir. Yeah, yeah, sir. So we invite. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So we have Mr. Sanjeeva Bajpai with us, the Chief Engineer from Government of India. We request you to enlighten us, sir.
Presentation आ जाएगा. You need to just use the down arrow.
Good afternoon to you. I am Sanjeev Bajpai, Chief Engineer Batinda Zone from MES. Military Engineer Services is the organization which is working in the length and breadth of the country. All remote locations where no engineering agency is working at present, MES is working there. We are constructing buildings, we are constructing hospitals, we are constructing roads, and from Santry Post to 132 kV receiving station, solid waste maintenance, sewage treatment plant, technical building, road infrastructure, right from scratch. You will find 2 years before nothing there, and after 2 years you will find a proper city-like infrastructure within the MES. We design, execute and maintain the work surface with inception to completion and subsequent maintenance, repair, and if retrofitting is required, we carry out retrofitting also. Our works are RCC framed structures, precast concrete works, LGSF, prefabricated structures. Similarly, we are doing the maintenance, huge 12,000 crores we are spending for the projects as well as for huge amount for the maintenance also. Generally, the projects were executed 100, 200 crores, 2 years, 3 years. Now with incorporation of the Speedy technologies, use of AAC blocks, sunken slabs we have almost removed everywhere. Plumbing, MEP works, we have gone for the CPVC pipes as well as the ready-mix plaster. And we are doing the painting through the spray painting methods, and DWCP pipe are used for the sewage, and we are doing the manholes, basically precast manholes we are using. So we are incorporating precast in a very large quantity. We are constructing the precast walls. We are targeting 100-meter wall per day of 3.6 meter height at one of the locations in the MES. We are using the liquid membrane waterproofing, which is in all our buildings. We have got the STPs. It is independent of technology. There is no technological binding on any company to use a particular technology. We need only the CPCB norms to be fulfilled. and the project has to be completed within a reasonable time. Generally, once we put the technology in the contracts, only few vendors get those contracts, and they delay the work to large extent. Similarly, we are into the solid waste management also, so this is a part of circular economy where whatever we are producing, we are processing that also, whether it's a sewage, whether it's a solid waste. We are using sustainable materials, such we are using WPC doors, UPVC windows. Iron windows are almost rarely in few projects it is there, otherwise complete we have removed the, we are using drywall partition of the AAC blocks, aluminum composite panel for the external cladding as well as for the internal parts. In operation, in hospitals, we are using the modular operation theaters, as well as we are doing all the possible hospitals from 1997 onwards. Harshwani Hospital was built in 1999, which is at that time that was the most modern hospital available in the Bombay. Smart metering infrastructure, we have implemented the smart metering structure, SCADA system and other services, we are also doing that. For speedy construction, in our multi-story accommodation, we have got the real-time progress by LIDAR system, where we dimensional inaccuracies are measured, immediately provided to the contractor as well as the department, wherein the dimensional accuracies are corrected, and wherever the concrete is porous, immediate action is taken to grout it. If it is not possible to grout it, then that part is redone. All our projects are included with the BIM. On MEP side, we are using the heat pumps, so that large number of geysers are avoided. Only heat pump is put and all the energy is saved because of using the heat pumps. Similarly, as per ECBC norms and India Cooling Action Plan, we are using BLDC fan, energy efficient system for the electric supply as well as the water supply. We are using the compact substations. This is the real-time monitoring dashboard where each defects in the concrete during the construction is noted and it is rectified within the time frame. These are few of the pictures where the color changes whenever the problem is there through LIDAR as well as thermal scanners. This is the dashboard of the same. These are the heat pumps which we have installed at various places. That's all.
Thank you, sir, for covering the aspects of speedy construction, which actually pertains to finishing part and the MEP part. Actually, in my own experience also, lot of time is consumed in this part of finishing MEP also. Thank you for covering those points, sir. Now we have our last speaker, Mr. Manish Agarwal from SDFC Capital. He is going to enlighten us on the not only on the construction part, but also on the financing part. Please take over.
Thank you, Mr. Pradeep. Thank you for firstly having me on this panel. I think, for a person with a background in finance, this is a lot of learning in one session. So I'm a part of HDFC Capital. We are primarily into providing financing to developers for residential construction. We were set up about 10 years ago, and over the last 10 years, we have invested about $4 billion across multiple cities in India. Now, as part of our journey, we also started something called as a HEART program in 2019, where we thought that just providing financing to developers is not enough. We should do something more for the ecosystem. We should try and bring the startups and the new ways of doing real estate development together, so that there are various efficiencies that can be, brought in to construction, to sales, to identification of new areas, and so on and so forth. Now, as part of that, we've come across many small companies that are trying to do their bit on the construction technology side. Now, what is really heartening for me to see today is, L&T, for example, a presentation was given by Mr. Amit Warde. One can see, how construction technology is now moving leaps and bounds, where, we've come a long way from My1 technology into, 3D volumetric construction, where the entire construction can happen off-site and, the materials can be brought on-site and the construction speed can be fastened. Similarly, a company like Twasta, which have been incubated in IIT Madras, they are doing such a fabulous work, and now large companies such as Godrej and L&T are also using Twasta. Now, what we felt is that, even though a lot of these new initiatives are happening, real estate is a very peculiar industry. It's not like any other place where the product is of a smaller value, where if something goes wrong, then you can replace it in the middle. While companies like companies in automobile sector have come a long way. In real estate, I think a lot more needs to be done, because once a project is delivered and then later on some issues are found out, then correcting those becomes a big issue, and the developer bears the brunt and the pain. So it is really very important. I would appeal to the construction companies to bring in awareness to the developers, such that they are able to adopt newer ways of doing construction. It will not only help the consumers, it will help the entire ecosystem, where the construction timelines can be brought down, and more and more projects can be taken up. Now, a few years ago, Government of India had also organized a competition whereby they selected certain emerging companies and emerging technologies to get involved in the construction space. We would really want to see more such initiatives being taken place by the government, so that there is more acceptability of newer technologies among the developer ecosystem. Whilst there will always be financier ready to identify new companies and provide financing to them. Whatever different bits can be done by various parts of the constituents will really help in taking the sector along. Now, as it is, there is so much demand in India for housing. So, for example, someone was mentioning the other day that, by 2040, whatever number of houses are needed, majority of it is yet to be built. So, that talks about the volume of houses that are going to build over the next few years. Now, if we talk about city centers, 3D volumetric construction is perfectly placed to expedite construction, whereas in the outskirts and the areas which are, emerging near the cities, things like 3D printing can be taken up in a big way. So, as part of awareness, if the construction companies can also educate the developers on the amount of time they can save and the amount of cost they can save, I think it will help them, in accepting newer technologies more. So, I don't really have much to add on the construction technology per se, but all I can say is that the opportunity is significant. Newer ways of doing things are emerging in almost all other industries. Real estate is ripe for, increasing the adoption of technology. So, I would urge all parts of the ecosystem to come together and make it a success.
Thank you, Manish ji. As we are moving forward in India towards 2048 Viksit Bharat, we have huge construction coming up, and for that huge construction, speed is of course one of the biggest requirement and challenge. Our 6 speakers have actually covered all the aspects which are required for our speedy construction. It actually starts with right planning, which was beautifully covered by Mr. Patil in his case study. How a very complex project of airport could be completed in just 2 years' time, that too in a remote Bijapur area of North Karnataka, which is quite away from the metros, Delhi, Bombay, Chennai kind of belt. But a good planning can help us in speedy construction. Then comes the contract management, because many a times it's not the technology which fails the delivery of projects, it's the contracts which basically becomes the point of reason of delays. So I think it has been beautifully covered by Rajiv ji, how the concept of EPC contracts is helping us. Actually, it is helping us both in private sector, in public sector also, private sector also, the contract. Then comes the actual construction. When it comes to actual construction, we of course start with the structures. Amit ji and Arvinda both have covered nicely all the new concepts in the structures which we are working upon. And then as we our experience over the years, finishing takes a lot of time. So even if the structure is completed, our experience has been, even in our traditional construction, maybe the 40% time is being taken by structure and 60 or 65% time is taken by finishing. The aspects which very briefly but very appropriately covered by Mr. Sanjeev ji is about the finishing parts. Amit ji also covered about the finishing parts. So we have two aspects of finishing. We are using modern materials, which is like we are moving away from masonry kind of structure, coming into drywall constructions. We are moving away from slabs. We are coming with precast or maybe the panel kind of roofing systems. And the concept which Amit ji stated was like, instead of doing everything at site, let's do it off-site and bring it and put it there at site. We have done the similar kind of thing in the Center Vista project also. The toilets takes a lot of time. So instead of making toilets on-site in the building, we prepared the toilet outside, and thus everything done. The toilet pods were brought in, and hundreds of toilet pods we erected in our 6-story building. We have done it. Of course, it has its own challenges, but anything which we adopt new will have its own challenges and the learning lessons. So thank you to all my speakers, panelists in the panel for covering the different aspects of speedy construction. If the organizers permit, if we have any questions, we can take up. Okay. So if any questions are there, we can take up.
One of the important areas in prefab construction, incidentally, is already covered. All these are covered also by the National Building Code, Part 6, Section 8, in very comprehensive manner. 2005 version, 2016 version, 2026 version. All standards have already been brought out on prefab and precast construction using all the technologies available. So that means you are already the norms available to deal with all aspects of standards also there. But most important is how much of them has got into the PWD specifications of either CPWD or MES or state PWD is most important. If that comes over there, there will be a tendency and also a potential for you to take up prefab construction as against conventional in situ construction. Number one is that. Does it find a place in your specifications for work and the document which govern construction? If that doesn't come there, it doesn't help. Number two, is it also reflect in your schedule of works? Schedule of rates. Are there rates available based on analysis? He talked about the number of Global Housing Technology Challenge Fund which are cleared by the Government of India, 48 of them. And 6 lighthouse projects are already implemented in 6 different locations, northeast, west, south, for different geoclimatology conditions. Seismic zone number 6B are all situated close coastal areas, etc. are there. So do we have the right schedule of rates available to deal with that? Because nobody will be able to put in a document for prefab unless specifications of works are there and schedule of rates are there. The answer to that question is it yes? Then that particular department will be able to push through in a large way. Otherwise, for each of the project, depending upon the interest, the chief engineer or somebody takes over there, some prefabrication will come. So if you have to really make a major change, so one of the major recommendations that you as chairman can bring out, which will come in the one is to bring these documents, that are more so because Indian standard codes and design codes for prefab is already available. I just thought I'd leave that thought process. If there are roadblocks are our own mind blocks and not because of technology or technological gap or something like that. L&T has shown enormous capacity and capability. The way in which they have gone about in that particular construction using those particular. There has been one roadblock. The National Disaster Management Authority has put a small roadblock that in the case of hospital buildings, prefab construction should not be permitted. No, it is not born out of any major knowledge that that it will fall down. Because if it falls down in a hospital building, it will fall down everywhere. All over the world, prefab has come in a large way. So there has been some block in the NDMA document to deal with that. Otherwise, to my knowledge, there is no roadblock for stopping that particular thing. It's a matter of decision. Can we take a decision 10%, 20%, 30% will come for prefab in a phase-wise manner? We are talking of Viksit Bharat by 2047. More than half is not built, he has said over there. Can we take a decision each year 10%, 20%, 30% over the next few years will come, then the prefab technology capability in India also will enhance in a large way. I'll leave it at thought behind. Thank you.
Your point is well. Sir, your point is valid. Just want to inform you, sir, in CPWD, for the precast technology and for prefab technology, sir, we don't have it in schedule expressly right now. Reason being, sir, we have started doing precast, major precast construction we have started. In Bombay, we are already doing 48, in fact, one tower is 30 story, another tower is around 50 story. That's a totally precast. Once we have our own learning lessons from that, then it will automatically come in our schedule of rates also. And regarding, sir, your promotion of this 30% or 10% precast construction, sir, already the ministry of our ministry has taken initiative, and now we have mandate that the major projects will be actually taken up in the new technology format only. So I think with this we can. You want to add something?
Yeah, Sir, I want to add, when we are taking projects in EPC mode, then we are giving this freedom to the agency to adopt any technology, and some of the technology are defined by circular by our ministry that they should be adopted while taking a project in EPC mode, or we should give float the tender technology free, like a technology equivalent kind of construction should be allowed. So that is promoting any technology which is faster, and especially precast technologies are promoted in that, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
So I think we can close the session now. Thank you, the speakers, and I hand it over to the organizers.
Any more questions as such? Any audience? And just to ask one question to Mr. Arvindji. How about we face lot of disasters, especially in Kerala and also, right? So if we put this 3D printing technology there, right, how can it sustain the the weather conditions there?
See,
especially you have heavy
check.
cyclones when trees can fall off,
Yes.
right, and it can come on the building. So when we compare to the traditional buildings, how much standing will it have?
See, we request you to consider 3D printing as good as your conventional method of execution. Substructure and the roof, it is still being constructed using conventional method only.
Okay.
All required reinforcement, structural detailing, everything is part of our 3D printing as well. All that we are focusing here is to develop an ecosystem where for-work equation is not at all necessary here. We are having a huge time saved in terms of avoiding the formwork system. Secondly, wherever disaster area, getting labor, getting the productivity from the workmanship, that is becoming a challenge. So we are completely mechanizing, robotizing this equation. That is where things works for us. So even in Kerala, we have developed a couple of fast track structures, especially for Kesnik board in Trivandrum, and rapid structures for defense area we have done. Same thing can be replicated in disaster areas as well. So it is very much feasible.
Now another problem is carrying this machinery if it is in inaccessible areas like highly terrain with
I understand.
Terrain. How is it possible?
We have multiple type of robotic arms today, not necessarily a gantry based printer. We have robotic arm on pedestal crawlers. Even in uneven surfaces also we can place our robotic arm on crawler, and the robotic arm can move itself within the premises. So such arrangements are also there. And of course this is a cutting edge budding technology. Lot of R&D is being done. So we are even looking at a boom placer kind of printer attached to tower crane. Several other arrangements are also we are working at various conditions.
Fantastic, sir. Thank you. So we'll proceed on to presenting the mementos. So may I request Pradeep Gargji to present mementos to fellow panelists. Engineer Rajiv Kumar ji, center में आ जाइए. Amit ji. Arvind Kumar ji. Arun Kumar Patil ji. Manish Agrawal ji and Sanjeev Bajpayee ji. May I request Suresh sir to present memento to chairperson, and after that we'll have a photograph.
Well done, sir. Very well done.